right, we are back. Good
We are
morning,
back.
everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the Good Morning Show.
Good morning show.
And Matt, on our break, you had mentioned that you actually think that you have an idea for a gift for me.
Yeah,
I want to open with that.
I think this is a fantastic. This is what I saw this week. Okay, this is a great. You have 4 kids. Four, and your oldest Jackson is how old?
10,
10 years old. But your youngest is
2.
2 years old.
Yeah.
So you have 2-year-old, and then you have a 4-year-old.
Right.
Because your 4-year-old was born about the same time my 4-year-old was.
Right.
And then you have an 8-year-old who
Yep.
was born like within a day,
Yeah.
13 hours
13
to the
hours
minute
to the minute.
before my daughter
Yeah.
was born.
Which is really weird.
And then you have Jackson. So I'm guessing that there's rough housing that happens in your house from time to time,
Occasionally.
and possibly even with you.
Occasionally, yes. I partake.
So there is a gift
Yeah.
that your wife needs to get.
Let's hear it.
Pony Up Daddy.
Pony Up Daddy.
Pony
All
Up
right.
Daddy.
What is
Josh,
this?
you can look that up. Pony Up Daddy. It's a saddle for a dad. Yeah. Yeah, it's a saddle for a dad. So you put the saddle on,
Yeah.
and then the kids jump on it, and then you can ride around like a bucking bronco, and they can giddy up daddy the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it's or pony up daddy.
You gotta
It's
wonder
a
what
saddle.
You gotta wonder what the warning thing on that is. You know, those with bad backs probably.
Well, yeah, maybe, but
And if you have a good back, be prepared that
the
it'll
big thing
become a
is
bad
that
back.
it saves your shirts from getting stretched out.
Well, that is true.
Right.
That is true. I've got.
And
a
I
lot
think one of
collars
the
on
ads
shirts that are
actually said that
stretched
it's
out.
good for moms too. So like you could do it,
I like that.
and you can also let Heather do it, and you all have this
I like it.
this new way of engaging and
I
having
like
fun
it.
with your
That's
kids.
good, man.
Pony up,
Is that a real thing? Really?
I'm working on it.
I think
I'll
it
prove
is.
it.
All right, guys. For all those folks out there listening, watching the show this morning, the Good Morning Show, we're going to do our top 10 list, top 10 Christmas movies. So a
10
couple
Christmas
things you can do at home here to keep score. Number one, if we've missed a movie between our two lists that you think should be on the list, you text it to me. We're going to put my number up here in a little bit, but it's 423-310-7476. That's this number right here.
First, I had to put a pony up, Daddy.
There it is. There it is. It's good for moms too up there.
Yeah.
That's it. And now
Durable
I don't know
design,
what's
easy
going
to
on with the
use.
pirate hat, but
Kids, yeah, that should be a cowboy.
yeah, I know he's holding on right there, and it saves your.
You know what? I'm looking
saves
at
your
this
shirt.
picture that says kids love it, fun for the whole family. I'm not sure. Looking at Dad, I would agree with that. I
Dad
think
looks all right.
Dad might be saying, I don't know about fun.
Mom
for the
likes
whole
it more than
family."
Dad does.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's probably. It's easy to use. You just strap it on.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of humor that's not appropriate for a morning show here. but,
It's no more. It's durable.
yeah, it's durable.
there a weight
easy
limit?
to use. Yeah,
Ooh, wow, that's a good
I
question.
assure you there is.
And if that's not enough, you just throw it on the dog, and then the kid can ride the dog. Like
There
a
you
pony
go. There you go. Break
And
the
do it
dog's
that
back.
way.
ASPCA is now calling. So
Speaking of dogs, never
no,
mind.
yeah, we got to get to this
I know,
list,
we gotta
man.
get
This
to
is
the list.
this is our controversial.
I
show.
know,
So
I know.
423-310-7476. Text in if we missed something here, and also, if you really want to get in a holiday spirit, we've got a list here of, I don't know, between the two of us, probably 15, 16 movies we're going to cover for you here that you'll want to go out and rent in the old days. Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever it is that you do, get your hands on these movies. You're going to love it, right? So we're going to start from the top, Letterman style.
All
Number
right,
10.
tell me when you're
Number
ready
10.
for the,
Number 10. Are
you
you?
need you want your number up there now?
Yeah, I mean, whenever.
I'll put it up there,
Matt
Matt.
Ryerson.
There it is. To air grievances. I like that. It's like Festivus, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
put
that
that
what
there.
Festivus for the rest of us is?
That doesn't look German. What is that? That's,
Ryerson.
Ryerson. Right, that's how you say it, right?
Leave it spelled like
okay,
that. Leave it
Ryerson.
spelled like that.
Ryerson.
That
that looks
is my new
Icelandic.
like Ginger Z. That's my new.
Oh yeah, it's
that's
your
my
new name.
Yeah, I think a Z in your name actually brings attention. I like it.
I
Leave
think
it,
you're
Josh.
right.
I like it. Yeah.
I think
so
you're right.
number 10 for me. This is a fairly unknown one.
Okay.
So a lot of people will. I think if you're at home and you haven't watched this is worth a watch. I don't think you've seen this one because you've
Okay.
been critical of it. It's a movie called Holiday Inn. very much like the movie.
That was
Yes.
going to be my dark horse.
Yeah, was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see-
1942. And this is a special movie, right? Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire. So you got Bing Crosby singing. Actually, was the introduction of the first appearance of the song "White Christmas" was
Yes.
actually in this movie, Holiday Inn.
And from what I understand, and see, I've refused to watch this movie because from what I understand, it's exactly like White Christmas, except you have Fred Astaire instead of
Danny Kaye.
Danny Kaye, who's
Right.
hilarious and
He is fun.
and his dancing is not Fred Astaire dancing.
No,
His
but it's
dancing is
good.
more craziness.
Right.
And I really like Danny Kaye. And how can you have basically White Christmas without Danny Kaye?
It's not exactly. It is a similar movie, and it came out first.
They
just
go
to-
up to a hotel up in Vermont, and then they
I
don't
think
have
it
any
was
snow
Vermont.
or something.
Yeah. It's
the same idea.
It's a
It's the
similar
same
story.
thing.
Yeah. Well, when it worked once, it will work twice. So that's my number 10. How about you? You got something for number 10?
Now you're not going to be happy with me putting it this high, but I'm still not sure. I can't put it into the classics category
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
It's a good movie, but I just don't know how classic it is.
All right, let's hear it.
Elf.
Yeah, I totally disagree.
See here's the thing.
This is
It
an
came out in
instant classic.
2003.
It did.
And
Will Ferrell.
I like Will Ferrell. I think he's fantastic. But really, in that movie, the only thing I like about that movie is Will Ferrell.
James Caan's in this movie.
I know,
He's a
I don't
class-
like him in that
Bob
movie.
Newhart's in this movie.
Okay, I do like Bob Newhart, but I don't like James Caan in the movie. He's kind of like a lifeless.
Yeah,
he's supposed to
he's
be
not-
the
he's
angry
not
dad,
playing
It's
that
not
role.
The Godfather.
but he doesn't have there's no energy. There's no energy from James Caan.
his
Will
son-
Ferrell is overwhelmingly awesome
Yes.
in that movie, but
There's a great, and this is going to sound really bad, but if you haven't seen, there's a fantastic shower scene in this movie. Great singing.
There
It's
is.
not what you're thinking. It's
There
a great
is.
scene.
There is.
There's a great scene in a store, so it kind of harken back to Miracle on 34th Street with the Santa Claus scene and a little gets a little rowdy in there.
Yeah.
And so it's you're not Santa. It's a classic scene. So many classics.
and it just feels to me like a little over the top.
But it feels good at the end. Everybody's singing. They get the spirit of Christmas to launch Santa's sleigh.
I didn't like the end of it.
You didn't like the end of it?
No.
Oh, jeez, guys.
The
No, I will
Satanic
say it's a
policeman.
good. It's a Christmas movie.
They were like the Mounties.
It's a Christmas
Policemen
movie.
in
It
the
goes
Central
to the
Park.
whole the Central Park 5 or
They're-
whatever.
yeah,
they're
they were
called.
like the Mounties in Canada.
It's like they were
evil.
on the naughty list. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a little over the top.
No.
It does get the whole
No.
Christmas spirit thing in
It's
there.
everything. It's perfect.
It's-
It brings the
I don't-
cheesiness of Christmas with the humor of Will Ferrell, the spirit of Santa. It's all there.
I'm saying it's in my top 10.
Yeah,
It's
it
just number
is.
10. It's not like the best movie ever.
All right. Number 9.
Okay.
This one you're going to be mad. No, let's go you first. I want
Me first on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one.
number 9.
I picked an out of the box pick
All
on
right.
this.
So
one.
did I. I went really out of the box.
It's really out of the
All
box.
right. Let's hear it.
Batman Returns.
Come on.
Now
You're not
listen,
even
listen. I
trying.
know one of the ones that's
You're not
coming
even
from you.
trying.
I know one of the ones that's coming from you. Batman Returns with Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and Michael Keaton, and
He was the second best Batman.
Oh, I don't know. He was Christian Bale's probably
Yeah.
better, but I like Michael Keaton.
So how do you tie
and
this to
and then
Christmas?
Michelle
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer as Catwoman,
Right.
And what's his name? Christopher Walken was in that movie.
Yeah, he was. That was good. That was good.
I mean, the cast is phenomenal.
but I
It was a
don't
little
understand
dark.
How are you tying it to Christmas at all?
It was events that happened at Christmas time. It was Christmas.
I don't even remember that. I don't think this. Don't. So folks, so far,
Yeah, it
listen,
happened
go
at
out
Christmas
and rent
time.
all the movies except this one. Don't do that. I disagree. My number 9 is much better, and it is directly tied to Christmas.
Well, so is Batman Returns.
1984.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie. No, not the movie. It came out in 1984. Gremlins.
Oh gosh.
Don't expose them to light. Don't get them wet, and definitely don't feed them after midnight. The whole movie takes place on Christmas Eve. Fantastic film. Great if you kind of like an edgy Christmas movie. This is fantastic.
If you kind of like a stupid Christmas movie, watch Gremlins.
It's fantastic.
No, it's not a
It
Christmas.
is.
That's like that's like a horror movie. It's almost.
It is. It's a little bit, but it still has a Christmas theme, right? They save Christmas because Gremlins, isn't it? If you get them wet, they bubble up and duplicate, and they
turn
become
into
warm. Right. And
Well,
they-
how do they
yeah.
save Christmas?
Because they stop the Gremlins.
And that's how they save Christmas?
Yeah. That classic. Go out and get
Elf
that.
is a much better Christmas movie than that.
Yeah, I agree. I've got it higher on my list, and we'll revisit that. So, those are our number 9s. All right.
Yeah.
So not out of the box, right? We're both out of the box.
Yeah.
Number
all right.
8. Now
Number
we're
8.
down to
Your
number
turn. Your turn.
Number 8. Okay, I'll go first. This one's gonna be hard. This is gonna be really hard to argue with, and so I went with a classic, an
Okay.
absolute classic.
Okay.
Number 8, I went with The Christmas Carol. 1951.
Oh,
although there's several versions. I actually like one of the newer versions better. I couldn't pin down the year that newer one came out. But, this is a Dickens classic.
Yes.
This is hard to argue with. Christmas past,
Yes.
Christmas present, Christmas future. Fantastic. Bill Murray did a version of the Scrooged. Didn't make my list, but
Yeah.
it was semi funny. It wasn't his best work, but you see it in plays. Kids do
And
it.
you
at
kind of need to
Christmas.
see the version of A Christmas Carol, any version,
Yeah.
really. You just need to watch it
You
at some
do.
point during the Christmas
It's
season.
classic. So you're not debating this is a top 10.
I'm not, because my number 8 is A Christmas Carol.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
This has never happened.
How in the world did
This
we
has
agree
never
on that?
happened.
I don't know. Except
Never.
that you went with the 1951. There's a 1983 version or something
I
that's really
couldn't
good.
find that one.
And
That's
then
my
there's one that came out late 90s, early 2000s with Patrick Stewart. Jean-Luc
Oh yeah,
Picard.
yeah.
And he played Scrooge.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I chose Disney's A Christmas Carol with Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge.
It's the worst.
And it's not the worst
of the Christmas
It's not
Carol.
the worst. It's still the story and the whole thing. The thing that I mean, it's all about the rebirth. It's basically rebirth. The
right,
whole
it
story
is.
of rebirth,
Right.
which is great, and I
It
love
is.
it. And it even has it's got all the things. It's got the snow. It's got everything you want. So.
If you have not watched any version of Christmas Carol, then
Plus, it has ghosts, kind of like Gremlins, except Gremlins is stupid and Christmas Carol is cool.
If you have not watched any version of Christmas Carol, you got to get out and watch that this year. I mean, there's just no question about
Now
it.
there was one
Which
that came
version?
out a couple of years
Any of
ago
them,
with
really,
Jim
except
Carrey.
the duck
Wasn't there?
version.
There was one that came Jim Carrey.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, I
it
did
was
see something
motion
about that.
capture, not motion capture. It was animation, but it was using the technology where it's his face and he did all
Yeah.
the stuff.
Yeah, I saw that in here. I was trying to remember.
Dollywood actually does a live version of this every year. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I've seen that.
Pretty
That's
good.
true. Yeah.
So, all right, excellent. So number 8, we're both at Christmas.
Yes,
Carol.
we are.
Excellent. So
Number 7.
Number 7.
I'm going with another classic.
Yes. So am I.
I'm going. It's and it's a short one.
Okay.
It's a short one. The animated is better than the live action.
Okay. You can tell he has children. So.
Yes. No. I like the animated better than the live action.
Okay,
Live
I see.
action, I didn't like all that much, but the animation was really, really good. And you got to go with the classic.
Okay.
The classic. Dr. Seuss, The Grinch That Stole
Ah,
Christmas.
yeah. Yeah. Didn't make my list. Didn't make my
What?
top 10. Did not
What?
make my top 10.
How can it? Wait.
I'm it's a little down. It's a little. I don't like how he treats his dog.
Well,
I just.
yeah, but at the end of the movie, this is also
Yeah.
about rebirth.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, he and his dog, his heart grows 3 times, and his
Yeah.
dog is fine, and everything's good.
I mean, he tears up the town first.
Well, I know,
poor
but he
Whoville.
brings it all back
Brings it
together. And the
Yeah.
thing is that it's not. And this is the reason I like this movie. Is it's not about the materialism.
Yeah.
It's not about getting gifts. Actually, they have the spirit of Christmas without the
Yeah.
gifts because he takes all the gifts.
Yeah, the Grinch has some real issues,
No,
personal issues that he
Well, he
that has to work
does.
through.
He does.
But I granted, I give you this one. It's not my top 10, but it would have been an honorable mention, and
Okay.
it could certainly bump one.
Okay.
And I agree with you on the animated by far. Jim Carrey did a version of this movie as
Yeah,
well.
I just didn't like it as much.
No, it was almost a little weird, and
It's a little creepy.
Right, creepy's probably the right word. So at home,
No,
we
he
would-
does a great Grinch. He does
imitation.
yeah.
Yeah.
The impression of
Yeah.
his Grinch is really, really good.
Spot on. He's good.
But still, the
Everything
movie
else is
just
weird.
yeah.
There's some weird content in that. So I don't dispute that one. That's good. I also went with the classic, and I think you'll agree with this in the top 10. it had fallen out of my top 10. Sometimes you get overexposure to something and you just kind of take it for granted.
Sure.
I banned it from my house for several years. And this year I watched it for the first time in a while. A Christmas Story, 1983.
Oh.
Famous Ralphie. Peter Billingsley is in this movie. Based in the 1940s, and I think Gary, Indiana.
See, I hate this movie.
You'll shoot your eye out.
I hate
so
this
many
movie.
classic lines from this movie. You hate it because overexposure, though, right?
No, not just overexposure. Literally, I used to get anxiety when watching this movie. It was the bullying.
Yeah, there's some of that. He overcomes that, though.
The Santa was mean.
Yeah.
The dad was kind of.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, the dad was kind of a jerk.
Yeah, with the lamp though. Come on, I'm fragile, right?
The tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the tongue on the pole.
It's awesome.
And there's the thing.
That's my childhood.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's all the bad stuff of childhood came back to hit me there.
Yeah.
And then he
shoots his eye out.
And then he actually almost shoots his eye out. It's
classic.
Spoiler warning.
I just can't.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. Sorry.
I just don't like that movie.
Oh,
it didn't make my list. It's not anywhere.
And you won't have to rent this when it's on TBS for 24 hours.
It's like
straight.
1981 is when that movie came out.
83 actually. Yeah.
83, and it came out and it plays every year all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I agree.
24 hours on Christmas Eve.
All the time.
24 hours straight. TBS.
That's awful.
All right. So
we're at number 6.
Number 6, and then we'll take a break
and
get to our top 5. So
right.
number 6, I went another class. You're not going to dispute this except the fact that maybe it's number 6. It fell out of my top 5. It's been perennial number
It's going
top
to be one
3.
of my top 3.
Yeah, it's been there for me for
I
a
can
long
imagine.
time. I've struggled a little bit with my top 5, and therefore I spent a lot of time on this. And as I scored up and total my points, I had a matrix that I scored up as far as quality, production, and acting and everything else. And it just slipped to number 6.
You're going with analytics.
Yes, I had some
You have
analytics.
to. You have to.
Exactly. I don't know how you scored your
I know
top
when
10.
you get up this close to the top, it's a
difficult.
serious
It's
issue. I
difficult.
agree.
Number 6, It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh my!
Yes.
No way.
1954, Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart,
Yep,
come
yep,
on.
Yep. That's if you haven't seen this one, one of the
If you
issues
haven't
I
seen this
have. Yeah, if you haven't seen this one,
Have you seen the color version?
Yeah, you got to go with the classic.
Well,
right?
the
You gotta
black
go
and
with
white I think is
yeah.
a little better, but the color's not bad. The color's not bad.
Two things push me on this one, right? So, number one, or 3 things push me on this. Number one, it's almost not a Christmas movie. It's almost not a Christmas movie. It feels like post-Christmas, New Year's.
No,
and it really takes
ends-
place throughout the year, right?
Well,
this
well,
is a
there's
long-term, multiple-year
it's not.
movie.
It's multiple years,
Right.
But it's really the transformation that happens.
Right. But not all of it, not most of it doesn't happen at Christmas, right? So you stand.
But
under a
that's
tree.
but most movies
They
most
sing a
Christmas
New Year's
movies,
song, so it suggests to me it's several days after Christmas. Actually, at the end of the movie, they sing a New Year song. Old
No. Hey, be
That's for
careful.
another show.
That's next week.
All
Okay.
right.
No,
just saying.
the thing is that it's.
So I get you. So I had 3 things, right? Number one is it's not really Christmas. Number 2, it's an epic, which some people like, but you can fall asleep on the couch about 1:00 Christmas Day, wake up at about 3, go out and get dinner, and come home, and that movie is still on. I think that movie is like 7 hours long. It is forever. You're like, George. How old is George now?
He's like 2.5.
He's like falling through the ice. And then the other part is the production value. He, at one point, if you folks watch it, you'll see it this Christmas season. When he's sledding and he goes down the scene where he goes through the ice and his brother saves him, right? And this is part of this is a kind of a running theme in the story, how important his life was to other people. He doesn't fall through the ice. He pulls his brother out of the ice, right? His brother, the production, as he's sledding, is saying, help me, like he's already in the water, which to me is production value. Josh would never allow that to happen. It'd
Wait
be
a
help
minute.
me
But-
after
but
he was
maybe
in the
he's
water.
maybe he's
No.
yelling, "Help me, help
No,
me,"
it's
because he's
not.
scared.
No,
We're
he's-
going
no.
down on this shovel
So,
all the way down.
that
Besides, it was
dinged it.
1943 when this
Yeah.
thing came
Well,
out.
I can't. That's. I'm sorry. So it was almost a dead tie between that and number 5, and that bumped it. So number 6 for you. It's a wonderful life for me. Number 6. Got to see it.
I can't believe you.
Well, let's hear what your number 6 is.
Okay, my number 6, another out of the box pick.
Okay, here we go.
And I will say it's been inspired this season because beginning in September, there was a new show that came out on television
Okay.
that was a remake of this movie.
Oh.
And so I've been excited, and I've been watching the show, and that's got me all geared up for this movie. And the movie is Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon as a Christmas movie?
Yes, it happens at Christmas time. There's the Christmas tree in Murtaugh's house. They have the
Oh, yeah. No, I
they,
do remember
they have
that. It is
the
Christmas.
fight out on Murtaugh's lawn between Gary Busey and Mel Gibson as Martin Riggs, and they fight out there, and the cops are all around, and there's Christmas music and the whole thing. It's a Christmas movie.
You know what throws you off on that? Because it's in L.A. It's warm. So you
And
don't get
this is the other thing. It's got
seasonal
the
weather.
Christmas transformation because Martin Riggs was going to shoot himself in the head.
Goes suicidal to
and
hero.
instead, at the end of the movie, he gives the bullet back to Murtaugh.
Suggesting I'm no longer.
I'm no longer at risk because I've been transformed.
And he gets
by
adopted
our-
by their family.
Exactly.
And he becomes,
Exactly.
I like your out of the box one on that.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little credit on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Because it's going to lead me into one of my favorite Christmas
yeah.
movies.
But see, the TV show has been really good. It's funny and
I heard that.
It's
I heard
great.
that.
I really enjoy the TV
So,
show, and that's what
folks,
got me on this
Lethal Weapon. Get you into Christmas spirit.
All right.
We're going to take a break.
Yes, and then we got top 5
Top
coming
5.
back.
Top 5.
Yes,
Stick
I'm
with
excited.
us. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
All right.
Are you ready for a break?
Cleveland Tire Center is ready to help you in any way that it can. We're one of the largest Bridgestone and Firestone tire dealers.
My name is Bill Kyle, owner of Kyle Motors. Our location is 802 20th Street Southeast, next door to Blythe-Bauer School. We have a lot of cars for $5,000, $6,000. If you're looking for that price vehicle, come on in. We have all price vehicles, and our down payments start at $500. My name is Bill Kyle. We look forward to doing business with you.
When I was accused of a crime, my liberty was hanging in the balance. My legal rights mattered to me, so I went to the professionals at Logan Thompson Law. Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, when it matters.
The signs of a heart attack can be different in women. Recognizing them could save your life, so know the signs. If you experience them, call 911 because every minute matters. And know that Tenova Healthcare is here when you need us. The signs of a heart attack can be different in women. Recognizing them could save your life, so know the signs. If you experience them, call 911 because every minute matters. And know that Tenova Healthcare is here when you need us.
I got it.
2 is always better than 1. With Toyota Express Maintenance, you'll have 2 technicians servicing your Toyota at the same time. That means less waiting, so you can get back to doing what you'd rather be doing. Schedule your appointment now at your local Toyota Express Maintenance Service Center.
Has your car been buried under a wave of dirt and grime? Then come to Cleveland's own Surf's Up Car Wash. Our expert cleaning services will make your car shine like new. Visit us at either of our 2 locations, just off 25th Street and now on Dalton Pike. Get the best value wash for the best value price at Surf's Up Car Wash.
Yeah. Great place to take your car.
Welcome
Surf's
back.
Up Car Wash. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. The Good Morning Show.
And good morning
we
to you all.
emphasize the good.
The
good
Good
morning
Good
Show.
morning show.
The good morning
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
that's other days, right?
yeah.
Today is the good morning show.
We're making it. We're trying to make it great though.
Well, oh yeah,
That's where we're going.
the
Gonna
great
recap,
morning show.
Why
You
are
know
those
what?
numbers up here?
We have to make the good morning show great again.
Good Morning Show great again.
I love it.
So we're
You know who
we're
else loves that?
I bet.
That's Trump approved.
Yeah, Trump approved.
Totally.
we're gonna make
I'm sure he
Make
does.
our
I'm
Good
sure he
Morning Show
appreciates
great
that.
again.
I'm sure he appreciates it.
folks, we're halfway through our Christmas movie list.
Yes.
So hopefully you're writing this stuff down. If you haven't, there's some good ones. There's some out of the box ones, all Christmas related, loosely in some cases, but we're down to number 5. But we're gonna review the bottom 5.
Yes.
10 through 6.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
If you disagree, though, we've got a number on the screen.
Yeah. Well, if we've left anything out, or if you
It's
disagree, yeah,
Matt
you can.
Ryerson.
you can
Air
Ryerson.
text.
grievances.
You can.
It's
My
Matt
phone is
Ryerson.
blowing up right now, but we haven't even got through the top 5.
Ryerson with a Z.
Ryerson.
Yeah.
I like it. That's my stage name.
Uh,
Number 10. I went with Holiday Inn.
and I went with Elf.
Elf.
All right,
Holiday
here we
Inn.
go. There we go. Holiday Inn.
There it is. There's the classic Holiday Inn. Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. You can't
And
beat that.
then
Will
we got
Ferrell with
There's
Elf.
coming in at number 10.
Excellent. Number 9. We had the classic Gremlins for me.
Right, which is not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Christmas in there at all.
He's in a Christmas
There's
gift
no.
box.
It's
He is coming
He's just
out
in a
of a
box.
Christmas
It's
box.
not.
Wasn't she looking for that specific gift for Christmas?
Yeah.
It was like a big deal. She
Yeah.
had to find it.
Exactly.
Kind of like the Furbies.
Yes, it was. The whole thing is.
Mine was Batman Returns. See,
That's a stretch for me.
Yeah,
happening at
that's
Christmas
not
time.
even, folks.
Happening
I
at
wouldn't
Christmas
even
time.
recommend that. Number 8, Matt, you went with
Christmas Carol.
Christmas
But
Carol.
Disney's A Christmas Carol.
Right. Okay. we
which
got
is
it.
not
if
up
you've seen
there.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Disney one I had.
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
came up first.
We
so.
like the one with
Well,
Patrick
there's Uncle
Stewart.
Scrooge McDuck. But
And-
that's Merry Christmas Scrooge McDuck. That's not
Okay.
Christmas Carol. But that's the idea.
And
There's
Patrick,
the Jim Carrey version.
Patrick Stewart's the one I think we would probably both prefer. It's
Oh,
really good.
it's really good.
Although that is not a good Christmas movie poster. I
No.
mean, that's a little
well,
terrifying.
it's playing off of the whole.
yeah, I get it, but you know.
It's more of a serious
Yeah.
version of A Christmas Carol as
Might,
opposed to
uh,
the funny like Jim Carrey's probably is.
Number 7, I went with the classic A Christmas Story, 24 Hours of A Christmas Story.
Right.
Ralphie, there
Right.
you go. I mean, you don't get more Christmas than A Christmas Story, and for many of us, it was our childhood. There's the pink bunny suit, the Santa
Yeah.
Claus that says, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid,"
Yeah.
and the tongue on the pole, classic.
It's
classic.
depressing.
You-
This is a depressing movie.
Your number 7 is
Is the Grinch that stole Christmas? There he
Yeah,
is,
there he
and
is.
the dog,
yeah.
and his little dog too.
And his little dog too. I agree. I don't disagree with that. Wasn't in my top 10, but it's not bad. Number 6 for me is a classic. It's A Wonderful Life.
Right.
Jimmy Stewart. I mean, look at the cut. Now that's how you do a movie poster. Right
Absolutely.
There. That's you get to catch.
Plus,
the
you see,
kids.
it's Christmas. You
Yeah.
have the kids, the
No,
family,
no.
the
Wonder how
snow,
many takes that took.
Yeah, exactly.
the light,
yeah.
and there's God's light coming down.
Who was the
there.
actress that played her? Do we know?
Oh,
That's-
I know her name.
she was great. She was great.
She's
Mary. Mary.
She's a famous person. She's a well-known actress. I mean,
yeah.
at the time, she
Had
was
some
really
good tunes in that. Not a like soundtrack I would recommend, but a very Hollywood
And then
friendly.
and then mine was Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon.
Yeah, there
was,
you go,
was
folks.
my number 6.
So if you've come for
You got that?
serious review,
Oh, that's Lethal Weapon 3.
yeah, but that was a
Same
good
people.
one with Joe
Same
Pesci.
people.
It was good,
Pesci was
but
pretty
yeah,
funny
that
in that.
wasn't the one I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
yeah,
I'm in a
it's
hurry.
Spin-off. That's fine. So we're now in our top 5.
Top 5. All right.
So-
So you me first or you?
Yeah. Why don't you start?
All right,
start us
I'm
off?
going to start first. I'm going to go with in my opinion, you got to have Christmas. Whereas, of course, the true spirit of Christmas, you know, the
Yeah.
nativity
Yeah, yeah.
and the Christ's child being born to Mary and Joseph.
Strangely,
is-
there's not a whole lot of movies that run that.
there
theme.
really isn't, and
Right.
the one movie that I think of, the Nativity, is not a very good movie.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful story, but not a very good movie. But the other side of it, that of course has been come to know as Christmas, is anything about Santa Claus.
Right.
Right. You got to
Right.
have something about Santa Claus.
Yep.
To make it a great Christmas movie, I think Santa Claus should at least be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Santa Claus.
Oh, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Classic. Yeah. Yeah.
Tim Allen, the Santa Claus, and one of the, because not only
That might be one that I accidentally left off. That should be in my top 10. That's good.
the great thing about that movie is, of course, it has the transformation,
Right.
because he's a bit of a jerk,
He's a Grinch.
and then he becomes Santa, and then
Yeah.
he stops being a jerk,
yeah.
and he gets that whole Christmas spirit thing, and then it's all about believing
Yeah.
and the whole thing. So, I mean, if you're gonna have a Christmas movie, just go to the source.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
You know who's good in that movie is Judge Reinhold,
I love John Reinhold.
who you don't really see much in movies.
Well, he's
after,
a psychiatrist. He's you
Right,
know?
he's a psychiatrist. He was, of course, in the classic Axel Foley movie, Beverly Hills Cop, where he played a cop. Fantastic role for him. He's equally good in this, where he
Yes.
plays kind of the soft-spirited, tender.
Give me a call.
Yeah,
I can help you.
he's really good. And Tim Allen at his best. That was good. All right, I
But
can go with
even
that.
Judge Reinhold at the end believes. That's
Any movie I think that really
The weenie
is
whistle.
any movie that's supposed to be Christmas oriented should open with a Christmas tune. And so for number 5, this is one of these movies that opens with a Christmas tune, and it's a non-traditional Christmas tune. It's Christmas in Hollis, Queens. By Run DMC. Great Christmas tune. You'll hear about it again next week. Fantastic tune. Run DMC opens the movie. 1988, Die Hard.
Oh, see, now you bring this up every single year.
Absolutely Christmas.
There's
Christmas-
not
the whole movie
anything
is
Christmas
Eve.
about it
It's more
except for
Christmas-
a song or two.
It's more Christmas than It's a Wonderful Life. The whole movie
Oh my
takes,
gosh! Oh,
the whole movie takes place on Christmas Eve. The
Matthew
whole-
Brooks Ryerson, listen.
Ryerson.
Oh, Ryerson. Listen, you go ahead and put the song in there, but like Lethal Weapon literally has a Christmas tree in it.
So does
Die Hard does not
Yes,
have a
it does.
Chris-
It's in the lobby where they're having the Christmas party. Absolutely, right
gosh.
before the boss is killed. He's right out there at the base. Of the
I mean,
Christmas tree.
I will give you that Lethal Weapon and Die Hard are similar in that way, but the fact that you have it in your top 5,
Yes, John McClane goes on to make several movies. Clearly, a lot of people agree with me because I think there's 6 or
was
7
he
of
was
these
it
movies.
Christmas time in Die Hard 2?
I believe it was.
was.
They were in the airport.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not Christmas
Yes.
time
It
in
didn't make
Die
my top
Hard,
10 as
Die
an
Hard
honorable
3,
mention.
Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance. That it's not
No,
Christmas time in
that was in New York during the summer, I think. So
But in Die Hard 2 it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
The
as
guy
well.
comes down in the elevator. He's in a Santa suit.
yeah,
The dead guy.
that's right.
But here's the thing.
That's
Here's the
right.
thing. There's no transformation in that movie.
Yes, there is. John McClane and his marriage are on the rocks, right? And at the
But
end,
they're
he
still on the
rescues-
rocks at the
No,
end.
not at the end.
No,
There's that temporary.
they walk out and she's got her
delusion of
arm around
stability.
him and they kiss and then she's gonna. It's all redemption. John McClane, fantastic. Christmas movie.
No, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing is that, okay, so he's got his arm around his wife
Right.
at the end.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. But we know in Die Hard 2 and in Die Hard 3 that wife thing just didn't last. That it just didn't last.
It doesn't work out. They do.
But Lethal
finalize the
Weapon,
divorce.
the change that happens at the end of Lethal Weapon sticks. For one, he doesn't kill himself, and two, the love that he and Murtaugh share lasts
No.
for 4 movies.
No, I'd put Bruce Willis up against Mel Gibson in the day of the week. So
man.
number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4. This one you're gonna have a hard time arguing with. It never made my top 10 before.
Okay,
I was anti this movie. I watched it this year with my kids.
I think I'm gonna like this.
And I was sold on it, and I just said, gosh, I have forgotten how good this movie is. Production value, acting. There's a couple versions. I happen to like one of the more recent versions. Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes, thank you,
Yes.
thank you. And talking about there's Santa,
Yes. I mean,
There's
it's all about
transformation.
transformation. There's faith and belief, and
the whole thing. I will disagree with you. I have Miracle 34th Street in my top 5 as well.
Okay.
Higher up than you
Okay.
do. But I will disagree with you. I don't think the more recent version is the better version.
Well, the first one was made in 1947, and it is black and white. And
Natalie Wood,
yeah, it's great. It's
the
a great
little
movie.
girl,
Yeah, it's a great.
the
movie.
bubble gum.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And I'm going to talk about it when I get to that top. Well, no, I could talk about it now. The thing that I like about a 1947 movie, get this, okay. So Santa Claus, Macy's Parade. We still have that today, right?
Right.
We still have Santa Claus, we still have the Macy's Day Parade. We don't have gimbals anymore, but
Right.
we still have all of that. The mom is a single mom. Dad not in the picture, but
Right.
but he's not dead.
Right.
So she's divorced, which was unheard of
In the 40s.
1940s.
Yeah.
Which
Especially
makes
a
it
successful woman like that. Yeah.
And she works. She's a huge executive
Right.
in a major store, Macy's
Right.
department store. So she
true.
is a modern woman that we see today. We see these women. It was a groundbreaking story.
Yeah.
And then the way they talk about X-ray machines,
Yeah.
they talk about getting this new technology. There are so many things about this movie that are classic, in the sense that they've lasted, and it was ahead of its time. Ahead of its time.
And Santa was brilliant, like classic Santa.
Oh, and
Both
he was
movies.
great.
Fantastic.
They even have a psychologist who is kind of a jerk, but they have a psychologist, which is a common thing that we have today.
Yeah.
And commitment to the hospital. The whole thing.
It's a good movie. I
I
never
love that
made my
movie.
top 10.
I love that movie.
I've been convinced.
Thank you for putting it in your top 5.
I may have been convinced. I ran the New York City Marathon this year, and then I saw the movie like a week later. And as I'm watching the movie, there's
like,
a lot
I was there.
I was there,
Yeah.
Central Park, and everywhere the parade was. So that was good. So that brings us to our top 3. Now,
No.
Did you not do your number 4?
You did number 4. I haven't
Okay,
done
I'm
number
sorry.
4.
Go ahead, number 4.
My number 4 is it's got a resurgence this year.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
And there are a couple of these movies, but Home Alone. Home Alone. And
All
it's
right.
the whole Kevin McAllister,
Yeah.
the whole thing. But see, I'm not going to go with the original Home Alone.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Home Alone 2.
Oh.
Lost in New York. In
even
honor
worse.
of our president-elect,
Uh-huh.
who was in that movie. He had a
yeah,
cameo
he
in
did
that
make a
movie
cameo.
because in Home Alone 2, Kevin stays at one of Trump's hotels.
This is making Christmas great again, right here.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
would be Trump
So
approved.
so he's lost in New York. You still got the crazy guys who are trying to steal things,
Yeah.
and you have the transformation.
Is Joe
because-
Pesci in number 2?
Yes, Joe
Wow.
Pesci is in number 2 with his partner there, and then you have the lady with the pigeons in the park,
Yeah, I
and
remember.
she's got a She transforms.
Yeah,
She's a transformation. The whole thing. He finds his family. He discovers it. It's got the big Christmas tree. Excuse me. It's got the big in Rockefeller Plaza. So
The one,
Home
the
Alone
first,
2.
The first one was I like the transformation there with the old man and not contacting his son. and
right.
We don't talk.
And then finally does.
Yeah,
and,
and then he says you should call your son, and
and
that's great.
gets to meet his granddaughter for the
So
first
we
time.
went to lunch yesterday with a friend of ours,
Yes.
Robert. We'll leave his last name. We don't want to drag his name through the mud, but he went to lunch with us, and he had some really good points about your movie. He said, "Yeah, I agree that Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
Of course, it's a Christmas
And-
movie. It's
and
more
his-
than Die Hard.
He said his follow-up statement was, "It is a Christmas movie just like Die Hard."
No,
Just
it's
like
not just like Die
when
Hard.
you compare the level of violence in these two movies, right? The level of criminal activity in these two movies, the level of classic lines. All it is. What was the character's name in Home Alone? Macaulay
Kevin
Culkin.
McAllister.
Kevin, right? Kevin is just a young John McClane, and so all he does is grow up, graduate high school, go to the police academy, and become John McClane. He just uses a gun instead of a paint
This is
can.
where he makes his bones. This is where he
Yeah.
learns his trade.
That's right.
Right
That's
here.
right.
It
Where
starts at the age of 9.
Sharpens it all up. Yep, at 9 when he's left alone. So
Well, then
I
you
think
should
it's
love
the
that
same
movie.
It didn't make my top 10, but it's one that I don't fight that
And it's
anymore.
New York, which
It
is John McClane's from New York.
Yeah, exactly. So
All
it's
right.
really is the same movie.
Number 3, I'm going to go with the classic, and my top 3 are all classics,
Okay.
and they've all been mentioned before. But this one wasn't on a list before, and that is White Christmas.
White Christmas.
It's the better Holiday Inn. It's
It is. Bing Crosby.
It's got the song
Danny
"Snow"
Kaye.
in there, and
Oh,
which
that's great.
Snow, 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 snow.
Yeah.
And
Sisters.
yeah, it's got this
Sisters.
exactly, which is such a great. That's a great song. That's a great song.
is. I don't know why I
Danny
like that
Kaye
song.
is hilarious
He
in this
is. He's
movie.
great. His arm. Oh.
Yeah, he's got his arm hurts,
It's
and
classic.
then like his leg hurts.
And any movie with Rosemary Clooney. I mean, if there's a Clooney in the movie, it's probably a good movie.
That's a very well. There are some
She's
that
fantastic.
George has been in I haven't liked. Like
So I do have
Batman
one small problem with
and
this.
Robin.
I don't disagree with this ranking at all. One small problem I have is there's a little bit of Three's Company drama in this.
Sure.
And Three's Company drama is what I call it. If you ever watched that television show, there was always you would hear a clip of somebody's conversation and make massive assumptions. And so she literally overhears Bing Crosby's character at this point is calling to set up a TV show.
Yes.
And she immediately assumes the worst in Bing
Yes.
Crosby, that
Yes.
he is going to try and take advantage of this terrible situation, that the inn might be closing and that there's no snow.
But no, I have to say she doesn't know him very well. Like they've interacted a few times, and she's kind of sweet on him, but
Right.
she doesn't really know if he's a good guy or not.
Right. Yeah, you could have asked him. That's all I'm saying.
That's
She
good.
could
Yeah.
have said, hey, I heard this. What's going on? But, that creates a little drama in the movie, and you can't beat the music in this movie. Absolutely.
I am worried about her sister. She looks really like skinny, like to the point like she might fall over, but she doesn't. She's a dancer.
There's a dance scene between her and Danny Kaye out on the patio.
Yeah. Mhm.
That is fantastic. I mean, and I'm not a dancer.
But it's one of the best dance scenes
Wow.
in the movies.
I mean, they don't do it like that anymore. And
No.
that was really one shot, and it was spectacular.
Apparently, there is a new movie out where Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone danced like
Really?
that. Yeah.
Fantastic. I agree with you. My number 3, I went a little different route.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think you'll dispute it's a top 10 movie. It's classic. 1989 year I graduated high school. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Deeply entrenched in a more irregular, non-traditional Christmas event for a family, which is probably more closely related to most of us and how our Christmas feels or looks.
Now that one doesn't give me the same kind of awful feeling that A Christmas Story gives me.
Yeah,
The Christmas
it's
Vacation
humorous.
is humorous.
The
but
lights.
the lights, the whole. I mean, it's a
The squirrel in the Christmas tree.
It's a classic, and the cat that gets fried.
What is it?
The in-laws coming into town.
Do they put the cat in the box? Is that how it gets to the house?
Yeah,
they
she
wrap
brings it.
to the wrap. the
Grandma
box.
brings the cat.
Yeah.
He takes the gift from her. And it's just shaking rice. Like
It's a ridiculous movie. And
the sled scene where he waxes up that saucer.
there's just not much of a transformation that happens. Because the whole time he's just trying really.
Right.
He's just trying really hard and he fails
Yeah.
miserably.
He wants the Christmas bonus.
And he's
right?
he's a classic Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it
classic
is.
Chevy
It's-
Chase.
it's as
By the
good
way,
as-
his boss in that movie,
Yeah.
Bill Murray's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I actually did not put Christmas Vacation on my
Yeah.
list
I'm
this
I'm
year.
getting text with a whole lot that we haven't put on here, but we still have a couple more movies. So that
so
loops
what-
me around.
Yeah.
You haven't done-
Number 2. Go
All right.
ahead.
Number 2, we've talked about it. I want to highlight for me, 2003 Elf is now for me a class. It's a must see. My son and I, we watched the scene in the dining room where he drinks an entire 2-liter and then belches for like 30 seconds as loud as can be, and then he looks around the room and says, "Did you hear that?" It's just a classic scene my son loves for obvious reasons. He's 10. Obvious reasons I love it. I'm 45, so that tells you a little bit about my humor. But Elf is my number 2.
And they have a guy from Game of Thrones. What's his name?
The short person. What's the
yeah.
proper term? I want to make sure we get it right.
I don't
Little
really know.
person. He's a
yeah,
little
but
person.
but his name his name is Peter. Is it Peter? The actor. He's in Game of Thrones though. He's one of the main characters of Game of Thrones.
Right, and so the politically incorrect scene in this movie is
Right.
is
He calls him
Buddy
an elf.
comes in
Buddy
and
comes in
says,
and calls
"You're
him an
you're
elf."
Where's Santa? And he says,
said-
"Call me an elf."
And then he
one
beats
more
up Will
time.
Ferrell, and so you have this little person who's like 2.5 feet tall, who
Throwing
beats
him
up
around the room.
Will Ferrell, who's like 6'3".
Yeah. just tossing them around the
Yeah,
room,
just throwing
sliding
them
them
around
down
the
the conference table.
That's a good scene.
Yeah,
That's a good
and there's
scene.
transformation there with James Caan, who ends up quitting his job. He works for a job like Scrooge, right? He's kind of like, working man trying to
I
make
do
ends
like at
meet.
the end of that movie, he's giving the presentation, and then his boss like tells the kid to get out or something. He's like,
Yes.
"Don't talk to my son that
Yeah,
way."
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that part of
Great.
James. I'd never really believed James Caan in the whole movie,
Yeah.
except right there.
And he
I
coulda
like
got a
that.
little
and that was a
more-
little bit Godfather-ish for
Yeah,
me. That
yeah.
was don't talk to my
Yeah,
son that way.
don't talk to my son that way. And the tone is calm but threatening.
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Who's the actress in that? Do you know? She has a wonderful voice. I don't. She's a fantastic singer.
Zoe Deschanel.
Fantastic.
She's
singer.
on the show New Girl now. She's
Okay.
That's
She's fantastic. The shower scene we're talking about, I forget the name of that song, but it's the
it was the one
where the
Baby
guy,
It's Cold Outside.
Baby It's Cold Outside. Fantastic voice for that song in
Yeah.
particular.
And then Will Ferrell jumps in there and starts
Right.
singing with her, and she gets all
But at the
weirded
end,
out.
better watch out. You better not Santa Claus.
My number 2 is one we've already talked about that you had, but you had way too low, and that is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Um,
It's classic.
the whole scene after the
Nothing says Christmas like suicide attempt. That's
no, it's Clarence and his wings, and he shows him what it's like, and so
There's a lot of people sad in the holidays.
Bedford Falls to Pottersville to
Pottersville.
and at the end, his brother Harry comes in, and there's a Christmas tree right there.
Yeah.
And then they sing the great Christmas song, "Auld Lang Syne," and then they said to George, the richest man in town.
Yes.
George Bailey.
Where was the bell when it rang?
It was
Yeah,
on the
it was
Christmas
on the
tree. It was
Christmas
on the
tree.
Christmas tree, and she says, "Daddy,
every time.
every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings." And then he says, "That's right. That's right.
That's not a bad Jimmy Stewart imitation. there.
Attaboy, Clarence."
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's
When I go with my Jimmy Stewart imitation, it's more like Mary. that's the whole, I can say one
That was
word.
That the whole
Donna-
scene. He's
that
like,
lady's name was Donna.
he's like-
Donna Reed.
Yeah,
Donna Reed.
yeah,
That's who it is.
yeah,
He's
She's
like,
a megastar.
"This is a very
Yeah.
interesting situation we have here." Fella doesn't get into a situation like this every day.
The only thing that
Not in
bothers
Bedford
me in
Falls,
this
anyway.
movie, and Saturday Night Live actually fixes this years later, is that Potter never really gets his due. In fact, he's
Yeah.
kind of poking fun
He
at
steals
him as
the
he's running down-
$8,000 and then he gets to keep it.
He keeps it, right? And then they essentially are paying him back, right? And so as he's running down the street, he's like, "Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, you crazy bum," And I'm like, Potter never gets his. Well, if you've watched Saturday Night Live, there's a skit Dana Carvey does. He plays Jimmy Stewart, which if you've never seen his imitation of Jimmy Stewart, is hilarious.
I bet it is.
He does this imitation of Jimmy Stewart, which is the scene after the last scene, which
Right.
is they realize that Potter kept the $8,000, so they lynch him. They
seen this.
essentially go.
I need to go
a-
see this.
You got to look it up. Dana Carvey. And it's great. And so they go to his office and they're like, "Potter, we know you got the 8,000." He's like, "Oh no!" And they knock him out of the wheelchair. It's terrible.
That's
it's hilarious. It's
awesome.
hilarious. If
That
you
is
ever get a chance to
awesome.
see it.
I will look that up.
It's a good movie.
I will look that
good
up.
follow up. Dana Carvey.
All right, my number 1, we've already talked about it. It's the classic. It's a modern day tale set in 1947.
Yeah.
It's Miracle on 34th Street. The Santa Claus on that was the best Santa Claus ever. The ending of that movie is the best ending ever.
Yeah.
Because you think, "Oh, I wasn't able to get you the home. I'm not real Santa Claus."
Yeah.
They go up, they see the house, the cane is there.
Yeah.
And then, and also, is much more believable, I think, than the more recent version. He gets Santa Claus off. And Chris Kringle gets off because the United States Postal Service it's got politics in it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the post office
God we
sends
trust.
all of the no. That is no. See, that's in the more recent version.
Right.
The old version, the post office sends all the Santa Claus letters
Right.
to the courthouse, to the Santa Claus at the courthouse, because they just get this idea, hey, that would be kind of funny. But it's the only thing that is able to get the judge out of this jam and be able to say, "I'm not going to dispute the federal government."
Yeah. I thought it was a better legal argument, being having been a law school
Right,
graduate,
right.
to actually point to the currency. And I like, it ties in a Christian element, right, where they say, you know, the
Yeah.
federal government is recognizing, in God we trust. They are literally recognizing an unidentified, unproven God, and a federal government can believe in an unproven God, then we can believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that argument.
But I don't like that argument because it says that we can believe. We can believe. That doesn't mean we should,
Well, not
and it doesn't
everybody
mean we
believes in Santa.
do. It just says that we can believe that. Whereas when the post office sends the letters there, it's the federal government recognizing this man as Santa Claus. That's indisputable. There's no belief that needs to go there. It's,
That's right.
They
No
do
argument
it,
can
and
be
that's
made at that
all that
point.
needs to happen. It's a better argument. Come on, it's a better argument.
It's not, but that's all right. I don't dispute that being in.
And then the fact that they bring all the
number
bags
one.
in and they dump it on
Yeah.
top of the desk. And the
yeah,
whole
we used to
thing.
argue about this one. It's climbed. Now it's not that one.
That's
it's
my
not-
number one.
It's not gonna be my top
my
five.
number one because of its relevance today.
And my number one is it's not Christmas for me until I get to see White Christmas. And
there it is.
And number one with you're right, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, and they are brilliant together as well as just talented. The movie is so well done.
It's got the
great
veteran element in there.
Oh,
as well.
and that's a tearjerker at the
Yeah.
end with the general, you know, and it is a fantastic.
And they
movie.
open the doors,
Yeah,
right?
the
and the snow's coming
snow's
down.
coming down.
That-
They're singing White
and
Christmas.
there is a bit of Santa in there because they're wearing like the Santa Claus.
Yeah, they're at
suits
the
and
Christmas
stuff.
tree and they're exchanging. I always find it interesting that we're doing live television here and it's difficult. I mean, this is not easy, and they're doing a live show in front of hundreds of
Yeah,
people, and they go
really
behind the
hard.
tree and start exchanging gifts during the show, and I'm like, really? This is how you would roll? You're
That's
like,
that's
"Hey,
how
here's the
good they
gift."
are.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
good they are.
And it was always funny back in the 40s and 50s how they portrayed love. They were like, you know what? I met you on a train, and I love you. I think we should get married. You're just like, whoa, wow, pump the brake, friend.
I don't know about
They
married.
seem to accelerate those
Can we
relationships.
Can we just go out on a few dates?
Yeah, jeez, boy.
At least
40s
sing
and
some
50s.
songs together, maybe.
That's a different generation, I guess. So there it is, folks.
Our top 10 Christmas movies. I think that we nailed it. I think that we
did.
nailed it. I think
we're
that
good.
there are a few that we could have put on there, but I think we're in good shape. Next week, however,
Yes.
we will have our top 10. We may not go top 10. We may, because we have a couple of lists that we want to.
Yeah, we have a couple
there.
of Christmas lists. Yeah.
So we're going to do songs,
Yeah.
and we're going to do probably food. We're going to
Yeah.
probably throw that stuff in there. And then see if we can. But we do have one more. We have two more shows before Christmas, so we might want to prolong that.
I did get a couple texts.
Hold on.
Oh, you
To
got.
make sure they're not something I'm going to add. I've been here patiently waiting.
Okay.
I only have a couple.
Let's hear it,
I only have
Josh.
a couple. I've got a few. You can't do Christmas without
Charlie Brown Christmas.
You know, I thought about that
Wow.
one.
Wow.
I actually did. I thought about putting that. That would probably have been my first one.
That is a
off.
top 5 for me.
My first
Wow.
off.
Gosh. Wow. We really missed it on that one.
I
That
think
is
you're
a
right.
classic.
I think you're right. I
That's
think
like
you're
not
right.
only Christmas tree, right, which plays a predominant part, but there's a scriptural element, a scene that is.
It's got the
that's-
whole. It's got the whole thing in there. It doesn't
Jeez.
have Santa, but it's got the whole
That,
thing in there.
I mean, that might be better than
And
Lethal Weapon.
I
or Batman
I
Returns.
think it's probably
whatever.
better than Die Hard.
I think a top 10 for me, maybe, only because my kids would push it into that
Yeah,
bracket,
yeah.
and they want to watch it, so I want to watch it, and I end up watching it, and I end up enjoying the lead actor, Polar Express.
Oh man.
Thought about that one too.
Wow.
But
Gosh, that's-
I don't. The reason I don't like that movie is just a little bit too much Tom Hanks.
I know it's fun to see him try to
Well,
reach all those different characters, and he doesn't really do it that well. But
We're going
it's
to
still fun.
revisit
I love
this
Tom Hanks.
problem
He's-
you have with Tom Hanks. We're going to have to revisit this in another
because
show.
he's one of my
He's an
favorite actors,
egomaniac.
probably top actors on my list.
He's
Brilliant.
He's an egomaniac and an attention hog. Egomaniac and an attention hog. That's and that movie I think proves it. Every single character in there is
No,
Tom
the
Hanks.
kid
You
is
feel the same way about Castaway?
Yes, the whole movie. What in the world?
That's good,
Okay,
Josh.
and then the
Forrest
other one
Gump?
that I have to
I mean,
put on
come
my
on.
list because I don't like it.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, it makes me feel creepy. But
Yeah.
it's a holiday classic. It's
Oh,
Rudolph.
I know. I purposely left that off. I
with
can't stand
you on
that movie.
I'm with you
I
on
just
that.
throw it in there because I'm like, I watched it just a couple nights ago, it was
Yeah.
last week, and I was thinking, I hope my kids aren't picking up the lessons from this movie.
I cannot.
There's
stand
not
that.
a lot of
I
redeeming.
cannot stand that.
Like,
No, it's mean.
Yeah, and you
Mean-spirited.
know what? You can be a part of the team now because you have some unique ability, but otherwise,
stop
And
motion
Santa Claus is a
is-
jerk in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an absolute jerk.
Rudolph's dad, I forget which one he is, Donner, doesn't even stand up, like he's burying his own son. He's like, he's an oddball, honey. I don't know what to do with this kid.
Well, Donner is a reindeer.
It's ripping on dentists. Like, dentists don't have a place in this world. An abominable snowman is kind of terrifying as a kid.
Very terrifying.
You know the great thing about this movie? It was a half hour.
That
That's the
short,
great thing. It was,
that it was
short.
short enough.
You get over it pretty quickly. So
Grinch Stole
I
Christmas.
don't like Frosty
23
that
minutes.
much either, but I didn't throw it up here.
Well, Frosty. No, it's-
I'm gonna bring you a Twix box because there's a couple on there that I think Frosty's not a Christmas movie, by the way, but it's a winter movie, not a Christmas movie.
Charlie Brown. That's
Although
the one.
Santa does make an appearance, but I did get a couple texts, 3 texts, and if we both agree, we're gonna send a
Okay.
box of Twix out. That this should be on our list. One person sent Love Actually with Hugh Grant.
I love that movie.
It is not a Christmas movie.
It's got Hugh Grant
Yeah,
in it, so I'm
it
not
is
gonna
a
watch
Christmas
it,
movie.
ever.
It is a
with you.
Christmas movie.
All right, we're not in agreement. So
No,
no Twix.
Have
for
you even watched that movie?
Yeah, I've watched
The
it.
the whole
I had
everybody
a
comes
date
together
Hugh
for
Grant I
Christmas
had
at the
watched.
end. They have the Christmas program at the school, and everybody comes together.
I'm with Josh. Hugh Grant. It's a negative.
It's off my list.
Yes.
Hugh Grant is in there. Oh my gosh.
Here's an outside the box one. The Ref, 1994. Dennis Leary.
See,
I'm in. I'd
No.
say yes. You're gonna say no on this one.
No, I don't think so.
The Ref. It's got some cursing in this one. So it's
It's got Dennis Leary.
It's got to be good.
Any movie with Dennis Leary is questionable.
What about I saw on the list? I think I've only seen it like once, maybe forever ago. That Trading Spaces Eddie Murphy movie.
I love that movie,
Yeah.
and
It's
I almost
Christmas
put it
themed.
on
Dan
here,
Aykroyd.
except that the climax of that movie is at New Year's, not
Yeah,
at Christmas.
okay. It is.
It starts.
It is.
It's in Christmas time, but then
Was it 14 days that they
I
had
think
to
that
switch
movie
Yeah,
was
it's a couple
originated
weeks.
from the old Eddie Murphy skit on SNL where he
Yeah.
where he traded places with the white guy. That was a short skit. That movie probably came from the
Yeah.
skit.
but the whole culmination of that movie
Is
is
his
they're
name
on the
Mr.
train.
Brown in there?
They're on the train. There's a New Year's party, and they do the
Oh.
whole thing, and the plays gets swept out with
Yeah.
the gorilla suit, and
But that does not a whole lot of redeeming in that for those people. But
oh, it's a great movie though. I love that movie.
the other one that I got texted, so no Twix going out. I'm no on
So
Love
far?
Actually. You're no on the Ref.
Uh-huh.
And the other one I got was, and we're gonna leave this open all week, so we'll revisit it. But Arthur Christmas, a CGI movie where the two Santa is retiring and he's passing it off. He has a couple sons. One of them's Arthur, who's kind of a klutz and
Okay, I've
bumbles
heard of
around.
this.
And
I've heard of this.
he's going to inherit the family business, and he ends up destroying Christmas and then simultaneously saving it at the end.
I've heard of
So,
this. I've not seen the movie. I've not seen the movie, so I don't know that I can necessarily
Well, if you
go yay or nay on that
All
until
right.
I actually
I would
watch
say
it.
Here's
yay,
a
but-
question. Another movie that was in the list of Christmas-ish movies was Edward Scissorhands, but I couldn't remember anything Christmas about that.
No, I can't.
I don't know about that. Now, Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
that
one.
I looked at that. No,
No, I mean,
way too dark.
Christmas and Nightmare, I just don't think should go together.
Right. And that, Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp, who is 2 years in a row the most overpaid actor. So, I'm not saying that.
I just
That's
got a text about what was it, Love Actually?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Love Actually.
It said keep it off the list.
Keep it off the list.
oh, Donald says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald says keep it off the list. Of course
all
he
right.
would, because he likes Britain now. It's
True.
it's a British movie, but they're all connected. The great thing is it's a whole bunch of different stories, but they're all connected at the end, and they all come to the same Christmas program.
This is a worthy list, though, of people to take notes. And if you haven't seen one, check it out. So you want to recap really quick?
Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn,
That one was the
number 10.
prequel to. Oh, that made your list, right?
Yeah, made my
okay.
list. Yep,
All right.
that was number 10.
We got Elf.
We got Elf. These are great ones. If you haven't watched any Christmas movies, you got a couple weeks. These
may not be in order, so. I'll
And that's
go
the whole
quick.
point of this, is that you have a couple of weeks to watch these movies.
Yeah.
That's why we come out with this now, so you can
No,
actually do
no.
that. I highly recommend.
don't
Highly recommend that.
please
movie.
do not watch
Danny
that.
DeVito was
Don't
awful
watch
in
that.
that movie.
Michelle
This is
Pfeiffer was
classic.
awesome in that
This
movie.
is classic. This is
Gremlins.
classic. Gremlins.
All
Any
the
A Christmas
Scrooge.
Carol.
Oh yeah,
There
Christmas
they
Carol.
are.
Yeah.
Ah,
So there it
Mickey's
is.
Christmas
There
Carol.
you go,
That's the one I
Mickey's.
was
Yeah,
thinking.
I like
of. That's good
Scrooged,
stuff.
the Bill Murray version.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah. It's good.
This was the no.
No,
Don't waste your
no.
time.
No,
Yeah,
no, do not waste your time.
Yes, Die Hard. Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's there's nothing about that says Christmas.
We're in agreement on
this
this
one right here. This
Yeah.
one
This
right
one's
here.
epic.
I like the one on
Maureen
the right. there.
O'Hara.
The most recent one, the one on the right there. Miracle.
Yeah,
But
I
they're
don't-
all good. They're
I
all
don't-
good.
That one's not any good.
All right.
Yes.
That's, I will
yes,
say yes
yes.
on that.
The
I didn't put it in my
Christmas
list, but that's a definite.
Yes.
A definite
Um,
yes.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Holiday
we
Inn.
got that one.
Yeah.
There's the Grinch.
The Grinch.
It's
yeah.
not long. It's 23 minutes. Not
Yeah.
not hard to do.
Christmas Story. Yeah.
Awesome.
Ralphie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die
we
Hard.
already saw
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Do it.
Absolutely. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. Got to watch that.
That's
watch it.
definitely.
Mary.
Zuzu's Petals.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. That's the one you need to watch this year because
No,
of Donald
no.
Trump.
Yeah.
I would,
Home Alone 3 is
I
not.
would give you Home Alone, but not Home Alone 2. Although the cameo might make it work.
The cameo
and
makes
the
it
other
worth
one
it.
you
I
mentioned
think.
the Santa Claus. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, yeah. the
There it
Santa
is.
Claus.
There it
Tim Allen.
is.
And then
That's good stuff.
I put
Tim
one
Allen
on here
classic.
on my list too that I forgot to bring up. Ernest,
Ernest.
Saves Christmas.
You know, the truth is, we wouldn't even have the show without Ernest because he did save it. So,
That's good.
thank you,
That's
Ernest.
a good point.
what was his term?
Was that-
What was his thing that he used
Vern.
to say?
Vern. What you know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah, know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right, so next week we have some Christmas lists.
Yeah, more Christmas,
and
more
more
Christmas.
Christmas. We're going to talk about that. We'll also talk current events and that sort of thing, right?
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching.
So-
Yeah, I have a couple
Thanks for
announcements
joining
before we
us.
go.
All right.
This week starts this weekend.
Yeah.
First Baptist
Yeah.
Songs of Christmas, Sounds of Christmas.
If you haven't seen this, folks, this is great stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
They do a first
Shows
rate.
on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Free to the public.
Yeah.
And open to the community, not
Yeah.
just the church. They want everybody.
There's
to
not a
come.
bad seat in the house either, so it's always worth going.
And then next week on Thursday, there's going to be ice skating at Bradley Square Mall.
Yeah. This is cool. This is cool. Yeah.
Do you ice skate?
I did. I used to play hockey growing up, so
Oh, very nice.
yeah, this is good. Take the kids over to see that.
Cool.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for watching the Good Morning Show. We'll see you next week.
Good morning.